Hi everyone, today let's talk about Ford. Ford is very quickly becoming one of the leaders in the automotive industry, even on the EV side, and perhaps that's part of why they're going higher. So let's take a look at this article. Then of course, we'll take a look at the technical picture, and you can see it doesn't look like a great buying opportunity right now, but it seems like it will be shortly. And since I don't have a position right now, of course, we'll take a look at the weekly option chain. If you like trading stocks and options and making money, definitely like and subscribe. I make videos like this as well as portfolio overviews every single week, so make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Welcome to the Portfolio Bulletin. Let's get started. So as I mentioned, Ford was the leader in US sales in Q4, and let's take a look at exactly why that is. For key points, they mentioned that Ford is doing better with supply chain woes versus the rest of the market. It seems like there's higher interest in more recent models. However, for 2021, that did not make them the top seller for the whole year, just here in Q4. Say Ford sold over 500,000 vehicles in Q4, marking a gain of almost 27% from Q3. Meanwhile, the whole industry was down 3% during that period. Say part of this is because they are pushing special ordering, which gained around 70,000 new orders in December, up from 12,000 in December of 2020. This is helping Ford deliver vehicles that are more specific to the consumer versus local dealers, especially with inventories being pretty thin due to the global shortage on semiconductors. We also mentioned that Ford has a much higher vehicle in stock versus the rest of the industry, with almost 250,000 vehicles, up 22,000 from November. This could be seen as kind of a two-sided argument here. You definitely don't want to have too many vehicles on hand, but certainly having more vehicles on hand has helped them, at least here in the short term. And in terms of EVs, they were second only to Tesla in EV deliveries, meaning that they are in a pretty good spot in terms of market share. GM obviously couldn't hold up to Ford's sales, despite their massive push in the EV direction, as well as their recall in 2021 on the Chevy Volt. Let's take a look at exactly how Ford stacks up against their rivals. You can see Ford here at the top of the list, Toyota making a pretty good gain here, and then you have those ancillary players trying to catch up to the major manufacturers. So you can see that downtrend year over year, but Ford is taking away market share, which is really leading, in my opinion, to their stock gains currently. Looking at the year as a whole, Toyota did beat out GM for the full year crown, with over 2.3 million vehicles sold, which was over a 10% increase. GM started to lose market share to both of those, and then Ford still going down, but not as much as General Motors. And then you have those ancillary players actually gaining a little bit of market share, selling more vehicles than they did last year. So what does it all mean for investors? They say they think GM will outperform Toyota next year, and that really COVID and supply chain issues are what's causing Toyota to take the first spot. However, Ford is certainly catching up with their very good batch of new cars, with the Mach-E, the Bronco, and the much anticipated electric F-150. Moving over here to the charts, you can see the recent run in Ford has been pretty dramatic here, from just over $12 all the way up to $24 in the last several months, making this one of the best performing stocks here recently. And this run is certainly not just over the last few months. It's actually been running all the way from the lows of COVID here in March of 2020, maintaining this upward channel for quite a while. You can see the top of that channel was created here in June of 20, retested here in March of 21, again in June of 21, and then we are right there retesting it here again in January of 22, which is why I'm saying just be patient here. I think this is probably a little bit overbought. There's certainly some short-term trend lines that might act as support, but I'm not rushing into the stock right here. Be patient. I know it's hard to be patient. If we do see maybe something like a breakout here where this pops above this trend line, retests, and we get a continuation, certainly look to buy on that retest. But right here, the risk reward is not great. Moving over here to the options chain, you can see if you sell the at the moneys at $24 with the stock trading closer to $24.50, you could buy it for at least $1 less over the next week than where it is right now. Of course, these are the closing prices on Friday, so it could open a little bit lower in terms of premium, but right now that's not a terrible option. I do expect it to go down, as I mentioned, so this is definitely a better option than buying the stock outright. But if you are in the same mind as me, you could certainly go out further in time, understanding that you have earnings here on February 3rd. But if you go out to the 45-day option, you can still get 50 cents to buy the stock here at $21. Kind of a long time to wait for $50, but that allows you to buy the stock here at $20.50, which is certainly a better deal than where we are right now. Even in the next couple weeks here, you could buy it closer to $22.50. which in my opinion is still a better entry than where we are now. So for me, still being patient here on Ford. Definitely played the rally to the upside a little bit, but at resistance, you need to be a little bit more careful. So let me know what you think of Ford stock. Is it going to break out of this channel, or are we going to see a short-term correction and some potential buying opportunities over the next few weeks? Definitely like and subscribe if you got any value out of this video, and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future content. Of course, none of this is financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes, and have a great day.